So the second battle of Ypres, Sinai advances. We have one action, so we fail to kick them back. So in November 1914, German armies clashed with French and British forces at Ypres, a small Belgian town. In April of 1915, the Germans launched an offensive, regaining the high ground east of the town. The battle was distinguished by the first major use of poison gas, mustard gas, I think. In the third offensive in 1917, also known as Passchendaele, armies clashed with 500,000 casualties on all sides. Yeah, no. The Balfour Declaration. Arabs advance, and they enter Constantinople, and there is a rule in the back of the game. I'm not really sure where it was. I saw it somewhere. Yeah, capital resilience, so 12.9. Instead of losing automatically if the Constantinople space is entered by an enemy unit, resolve the calamity though instead place that enemy unit back on its one space. And move one marker in the victories box over to the defeats. Thankfully we have some victories. So that was not funny. Gallipoli still not exist. Mesopotamia is entering. And I played to roll. Yeah, it's successful. So 1, 2, 3, 4 strategic posts for the Turkish flags are in control. We have to kick something back. +1, 2 of all offensives versus Sinai. So let's do that. Sinai, one action. Crap. Another action for Sarel. Crap. Okay. Seeking to curry favor with the Jewish Zionists and reward Chaim Weizmann, the British inventor of synthetic acetone for explosives, Lord Balfour, British Foreign Minister, announced on November 2, 1917, that His Majesty's government views with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people. Ultimately, this was to become the modern state of Israel, with all the issues that it entailed. Yeah. We're going to lose. Okay, conduct the Western Theater of the Somme. Somme? Okay. The Somme. It's the Western. So we have one DRM, -1 for weariness, and we lose because it's 2 and we have to gain a 3. So that was the Western Theater battle. Gallipoli advances, no. Salonika advances, yep. One action, kick back Salonika. So that's a 2, doesn't work. And that was the action. Between July and this is the summer. Between July and November 1916, the British and French allies launched a major offensive against the Germans on the Western Front. The campaigns resulted in a massive loss of life and only translated into the conquest of 6 miles of German-held territory. On July the 1st, 1916, alone, the British Army sustained 60,000 casualties. The campaign, however, did feature the first use of tanks. Well, that's nice. Right. Events. Place the Hamilton II Gallipoli unit on its force base. Hamilton II. Okay. So yeah, the Constantinople is being besieged by all sides. The Salonika front is almost is at the gates of Constantinople, but also is Lawrence of Arabia and Allenby, and Mesopotamians are not far behind. So yeah, this is kind of the end. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4 means we would lose in the national will. But instead of losing, I discard a victory, an earlier victory. So we don't lose yet, because we celebrate that we won in the Siege of Kut. But that's only temporary. The destroyed Sadubahir gun emplacement in the Narrows. Narrows don't play any role because the British are gone there. Advance. Arabs advance to Constantinople. It costs me a victory, which becomes a loss. So they get kicked back. The Caucasus advances, but it doesn't exist. So that was the Gallipoli landing. 2 actions. I'm going to roll against Lawrence, against Sarail. Well, Sarail gets kicked back, but that's 2 actions. I can spend a DRM for from the Red Theater because they are all gone. But then you have to remove it from play. Not yeah, well, it's what it is. So I can roll again for Sarail. That's a 2. So I cannot kick back Sarail. Rolling terribly. Yeah. So hoping to break the stalemate in the war and knock the Ottoman Empire out quickly, young British Lord of the Admiralty Winston Churchill conceived a dynamic invasion of the Gallipoli Peninsula. On April 25, 1915, the landings began, but incompetence coupled with the resolute efforts of the Turkish defenders bogged down the campaign for many months. So that is what happens in Gallipoli. So, no, this is the Sykes-Picot agreements divulged. Salonika advances, Mesopotamia advances, but has to roll to advance. But it succeeds, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flags, and that means the national will is broken. And we lost the game. So we can continue on, just pretending that it didn't happen. So Salonika, I think it advances. Mesopotamia advances. So it would also enter there. It's a great party. So you that's already too much. And then +1 to all offensives on Sinai and Arab fronts. Let's do the Sinai. Okay, kick back, and Arabs 3 versus 3. That's oh yeah, +1, so it gets also kicked back. Now, between November 1915 and March 1916, the governments of Britain and France reached an agreement on the division of the Middle East in the aftermath of an Allied victory. The Tsar of Russia subsequently ratified the text. However, in the aftermath of the Bolshevik Revolution, Lenin revealed the plan. Arab nationalists and Zionists were outraged because the Allies had given them contradictory promises. And this is how it is played. Next event is the Faisal Hussein Arab unit on the 6th track. So this is the Lawrence of Arabia is gone. If not yet in play. Oh shit. Okay, so but it's already in place, so it stays. Mesopotamia advances. And it reached Constantinople, so we would have lost again. Sinai advances. We have 2 actions, so we kick back. Yeah, but these units both are 4, so it's, to have a 5 or 6 is a 1 in 3 chance. So this makes it already as the game progresses, it's very hard to beat these numbers. So plus you have more weariness, so that's kind of hopeless. I mean, I can roll, and I can roll again. And I keep rolling once. Okay, the Arab Revolt. Somewhere around June 8, 1916, the French and British made an alliance with Grand Sharif Hussein to initiate an Arab revolt in return for promises of post-war sovereignty. This is how the current world order is forged back in those days.